toying with you gives their life meaning. Just make sure it's not giving too much meaning to yours. We have the devil and the angel archetype. How fitting. Along with the high priestess and the queen of wands at the bottom of the deck. The witch archetype. They may have seen you as an angel, but you're more than that. This angel doesn't get their wings because they're so sweet and so loving and so easy to manipulate. They get their wings because they've been through some shit, in other words. With the King of Swords and the Five of Cups, this is gaining wisdom through adversity and applying it in the real world. Not just saying you apply it, not just talking a bunch of spiritual jargon, but having a cosmic understanding of the way that universal laws work with the magician and the high priestess present through your own life experiences with the Five of Cups, through the things that were hard, through the challenges. You're not somebody that minces words. You live what you preach, and some of you don't preach anything because you just let your life lived be the message itself. So what I'm seeing here is toying with you gives their life meaning because it gives them a barometer. It gives them something to focus on. For some of you, it reminds them of what they once were. This to me is giving fallen angel energy, and this is a very seductive devil. This reminds me of an incubus. You could have gotten tangled up with this person sexually. You could have connected with this person even astrally. For some of you, this is not even an embodied being. This is a literal incubus or succubus that you have been trying to. I'm seeing you going like this. It's like you're trying to shake something off of you. And with the Queen of Wands, this can be sensual energy. This is sacral chakra sort of stuff here. This can also be somebody who's very creative. You could create things out of a place of pain, for example. You could be somebody who viscerally creates things, or you let your anger drive you, possibly. Instead of letting life get you down, you get angry. You let that fuel you. With the magician, you use all of the elements to your advantage. Who I'm speaking to here. So for some of you, this person, or whatever this is to you, saw you as sort of an enigma, and their obsession with you, because it is an obsession for most here. For some of you, that's because this is a source of supply for them. This is an energy vampire. For others, this is more, they're obsessed with you because of what you represent for them, and they haven't been able to quite understand why they are so drawn to you, why they're so obsessed with you. It's because of what you represent. And for some of them here, it's the wings. For some of them, they lost their wings, they lost their way, I'm hearing. And now they're obsessed with you because they want to get their wings back. And for some, they feel like by dominating you and keeping you in a cage of sorts, this will, by proxy, give them the ability to wear these wings. Now, this doesn't sound like a good energy, guys, right? This is somebody that wants to wear you like skin instead of doing their own work. So take this as it resonates, everybody, here today with the High Priestess and the Magician present with the King of Swords. You know, we're all adults here. Making sure I didn't turn my mic off. We are spiritualists. We have brains that we know how to use. We've been through a lot of hard things with the Five of Cups. But with the Queen of Wands here, we still have hope in humanity. We are still looking for what we've always been looking for, which is different for all of us, what exactly that thing is. But you could have been in a time, see all these candles, of communing with yourself on a deeper level with the ancestors in your spiritual walk. You could have been getting into your sacral chakra energy, and then boom, there's this entity attachment here. And you could have felt stuck because of that. Now what I'm seeing is, for some of you with the Queen of Wands, you could have realized, like, what am I doing attached to somebody that's trying to use me, steal from me, siphon from me? Because for a lot here, this is an energy vampire. This is a person that, with the devil, is seeking some sort of unfair dynamic with you where they get most of the benefit, and your benefit, according to them, is that you get to help them. Because they see you as some sort of an empath. They see you as a spiritual person with the High Priestess and the Queen of Wands, but they also see you as this person that's able to manifest things, and they want that energy. So back to the original channeled message here. Toying with you, it gives their life meaning. Just make sure that it's not giving too much meaning to yours, because sometimes these dynamics, they're like polar opposites, energetically speaking, on the sides of the spectrum, like the angel and the devil, right? Now, many people believe that Lucifer, for example, was a fallen angel. So technically, these are both angels. They're kind of just like a dark angel and a light angel, if you want to look at it that way. So you really are the same thing at the core of it. That could be what attracted you to this person or this energy to begin with, where you're like, we're the same. And they're also saying we're the same, but it's in a different way. They're saying, I want what you have because that used to be mine, and I'm going to figure out how to take that from you. As opposed to being like, I'm going to become like you. You have inspired me to become like you. It's more, I'm going to take what you have. I'm going to figure out, King of Swords, how you've done what you've done here. For some of you with the Queen of Wands, you've had glow ups physically. You know, you look good, you look healthy. For others here with the Magician and the Queen of Wands, it's more like they are seeing tangible evidence of you manifesting things in the 3D world. And they're scratching their head like, how is the collective doing this? I want to figure out how to do this. And they're trying to do it via the King of Swords, they're trying to do it through the intellect. I'm seeing some of them typing into like Chat GPT. Like they are trying to figure out logically what you do spiritually and energetically. Queen of Wands, High Priestess, Magician. So basically, this person's trying to become a magician like you. You have inspired this person, even if it's in a roundabout, backwards, fucked up sort of a way. You have inspired this person to at least want for more, right? Because I feel like for a lot here, this person, before they came across you, they were very depressed with the Five of Cups. Again, this is a lot of mirroring happening here. You could be somebody that understands things like depression and sadness with the Five of Cups. You've been through a lot, you've overcome a lot. And I feel like you're the type of person that you see that sadness in the eyes of other people, and so it draws you in as a form of a kinship. Again, it's that thing happening again, and that's how I talk about it to myself. I'm like, oh, here goes that thing happening again. Is this a karmic energy? Is this a soulmate? Like, is this somebody that I'm meant to cross their path for one reason or another, right? Because it's a knowing, it's an understanding that's unspoken. You feel a connection to somebody. Now, connection doesn't always mean that it's going to be beneficial. But I would argue that every single situation ends up being beneficial because we're magicians. We can use it to our advantage. But why put yourself in a situation where somebody looks at you like a toy that they can just move around? For some of you, they're like watching you at a distance. They're doing these like spells and incantations that they're learning like from the internet, and then they're watching you to see how it's reacting. For some of you, this is like sex magic here. For some of you, this person is obsessed with you, and this could be a man or a woman or however they identify, right? Like this can go both ways. I'm seeing both here. This person is obsessed with you for a deeper reason than they understand. For some of them, they are looking at you like a Queen of Wands, like you're attractive, you're sexy, you're alluring, right? Because they have that side to them too. Like they are, for a lot of you, they have an incubus succubus attachment to them that causes them to be, their sacral chakra is overly inflamed here. And I don't mean that, and I mean the word inflamed. That's a good way to put it. Inflamed. It's like, imagine things down there feeling like itchy all the time. That doesn't, you know what I'm saying? Like that's not, I mean, I don't know about y'all, but that's not sexy to me. Somebody's like itching there all the time, energetically speaking, like they're always jonesing for the next whatever that is. And there's nothing wrong with being sexual, sensual. We should all embrace ourselves. But there's something about this person being overactive with that. And so they're not just obsessed with you because of the sexuality, though. And that's what's getting them in their spiritual side. Like you are helping to awaken this person. It's not our responsibility to awaken people. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying, isn't that interesting? That this is just what's happening, whether you chose for it to happen or not, whether you're trying for it to happen or not. Because for a lot of you, you're not even in communication with this person. But I'm seeing this person watching you and observing you and trying to figure out how you're doing what you're doing. Because for some of you, they want to use, what you have, confirmation, to help them gain more wealth. I'm seeing for some of them, they feel like you have some sort of magic key or secret that is helping you to bring in finances. They feel like you're using some sort of like charms with the Queen of Wands, where maybe you're doing some sort of prosperity magic or something like that, that they're trying to understand how you're gaining what you're gaining. and they want some of that. It's not all negative, but I would proceed with caution because this person is looking at you like a rat in a lab or like a toy that they can just play around with, like a kid that has their toys in their toy room, right? They're not looking at you as a human being. They're looking at you as like an experiment or like a hypothesis. This person is they're king of swords, this person with the devil. So they use their intellect to control people, to attempt to control outcomes, and to try to get people into codependent dynamics with them. For some of them, it's through sex. For others of them, they try to get the people that they are connecting with to like drink. They'll say like, let your hair down, you're so uptight, like let's just have a couple drinks. And then this person ends up getting back into drinking again, or drugs or whatever. It's like they entice people. This person, they don't just tempt in terms of sexuality. They tempt with what they figure out that the person has an Achilles heel with. That's why I say this person's working with entities, because they have a higher technology that they're working with, but they're using it for negative intent. You could have a similar technology that you're connected to, but you use it for positive intent. And that's why you two are in the same room, so to speak, because in a way, there's something here about balancing out the polarities so that you can both inch more towards the middle. Now, for a select few, this is like a twin flame thing. But it's not that for everybody, because for some of you, this is like a family member or a friend, or this is somebody that you don't even know very well. This could be a romantic thing, right? Especially if it's like sexual. One would hope, right? We live in a crazy world. But we're going to get some cards here. I just had to open up the message. See, this is what happens with these codependent dynamics, though. One more thing on this. This is so powerful. This person's obsession is so powerful that you may begin to feel obsessed or just obsessive in general. You could find yourself feeling just a very intense energy that you normally are more balanced with the Temperance card. Like, you normally see how he's holding two different things at the same time, the sun and the moon. He's balanced and he's kind of just chilling. This guy, he's using his hand to control another person, and he has glitter coming out of his hair, right? So you have glitter coming out of you too, but it's in a different way. It's coming from a light source. This guy, it almost looks like he's under the water here. Like, this could be, some sort of a water spirit, like a leviathan thing, or like I said, it's like a siren energy, male, female, non-binary. However, they come in all shapes and forms, and I've come across quite a few of them. They're not bad people, guys, but it's what they do with the power. And in this person's case, they're using it negatively, or at least they have been. I feel like you're opening up their mind to how they can still get what they want. You're like a case study for this person with the King of Swords. They're finding you puzzling. That, and I'm going to get back to what I was saying about the codependent thing. They find you puzzling because you can still get everything you want without tricking people. Like, I'm seeing the Seven of Swords. They're like, wow, collective just still got the same result that I got by doing all of that scheming. They got everything that they wanted above board. So it's making this person question their methodologies. They're questioning their connections. This person, for some of you, and this is not to feel bad for an abuser, because for some of you, this person has been that, but it's just to give context. This is like the origin story of the maniac, right? I'm seeing this person trapped. perfect. Like I'm seeing them in the 7 of Cups. They're kind of in like a delusion here, guys. I'm hearing delusions of grandeur. For some of you, this person is, like narcissistic here, right? And they think they're godlike. They have some sort of a god complex. But for others, it's more I'm seeing all of these like entity attachments to this person. Like they've almost forgot where they are. They've like forgotten where they live. They've forgotten who it's like their memories are confused. Like I'm feeling into this person, guys. And it's almost like they need somebody to feed off of as a host in order to help them to feel meaning in their life. And that brings us back to our original message. They've targeted you because you make them feel something. It's like in Beauty and the Beast where he's like, "Oh, I've uh I've realized that I was once a man and I once had a heart and I became this beast." It's like you're like awakening this person to who they used to be. And for some of you, they used to be like you, but they fell. Like they fell through their own. I'm hearing something about the 7 deadly sins. It's like this is an ancient being. We all are. But I'm seeing that as like this is a person who has traversed the darkness for many lifetimes and they've become accustomed to that. And that's why I say for some of you, this could be a twin flame thing where these relations are meant to cause us to grow in a way that you couldn't grow by yourself. They're judging their own selves in relation to you. So back to what I was going to say, and then we'll get some cards here. We are using the Light Seers Tarot for today's reading. Toying with you gives their life meaning. Just make sure it's not giving too much meaning to yours. Because even if you're not an obsessive sort of a person, you're balanced, you keep I'm hearing something about checks and balances here. Like you keep things kosher, above board, by the book with the King of Swords and the Queen of Wands. Even if you are magically inclined, you're somebody who does spell work, for example, or you work with what you got, right? With the magician, you know how to use universal laws to your advantage, etc. You don't use them negatively, right? But there's something about coming into contact with this person, energy, or entity for some here where it's not even a physical thing. It's more like this is like a shadow side of you, and you're like you're becoming enlightened to the shadow side of you, and you're actually making friends with it and integrating it instead of shying away from it or pushing away from it and just pretending to be like this perfect, pure, clean person. What's the point of that? This is an integration for some of us here, but for others, this actually is a separate person that's helping you understand that you can kind of come a little more toward the dark side, for lack of a better way to say it, and integrate things so that you are able to see more than just one dimension. You're able to walk between the lines. For some of you, you're like mediums. I'm hearing Hecate. You walk between the lines of good and evil, so to speak, and this is part of your learning. This is part of your understanding so that you don't feel like you have to be one way or the other, too heavy-handed one way or the other. You're perfectly integrated and you're walking forward in both of those energies. So no matter what happens in your life, you can't really get knocked off your horse, because what does anybody have on you if you've already cleaned out your closet, if you've already integrated your shadow, if you've already accepted yourself on a deep level? What dirt can anybody really dig up on you? You dig up your own dirt, right? It's like you are in control. That's the devil. The devil, there is a good form of control with Saturn. It's discipline, right? So some of the most successful people on this planet are the most disciplined. They wake up at 5 a.m., they go on their jog. Like, think about people like Steve Jobs. I'm not saying Steve Jobs is the end all be all. I'm thinking of somebody like that, where he was so particular with this sort of a mindset that I'm talking about here, this minimalism, this discipline, this it's like the King of Swords. It's high intellect that he would make it easy for himself by only wearing that black t-shirt, so that he would save himself the minute and a half that he would have to spend finding his outfit for the day. That's how precise he was in terms of controlling himself, disciplining himself, valuing his time, which is Saturn, right? So there's something here that can be learned about this control side of things. Like, I'm hearing scientific terminology like hypothesis, control. Like, this is like an experiment on your side as well, but you're not looking at it like that. You're looking at this person as a human being because you look at yourself as a human being. This person doesn't even look at themselves as a human being, let alone other people. They don't even really, this person, for some of them, they are out there. They do look at themselves as a god among men. They don't see themselves as equal to other people. They see themselves as above others, like, for real. Like, they truly think that there's some sort of creature or something that's just above everything here. And for you, you may have looked at yourself as below, as beneath, as other. This person sees themselves as other, but that's because they feel like they're a god. And hey, Jesus said, "Ye are gods." So we are meant to be gods and to evolve into, with the magician, being the creator of our own reality. We look at God as the creator, traditionally. We too are creators made in the image of God. So this person, it's like they have it right, but they have it so wrong all at the same time. It's like they're twisting the reality. And on this side of things, it's like we're degrading ourselves. This could be subconscious. This is like martyr. And so toying with you gives their life meaning, because what they're not understanding is that they're actually deriving meaning again. They could have lost meaning so long ago when they lost their wings, so to speak. See, it almost looks like their hair is their wings, doesn't it? They are obsessed with you because you are bringing up something ancient within them that they have lost, but they forgot that they lost this essence, and they want it back, but they want it back by consuming you. There's a side of us here that is attracted to this in one way or another. And I know that it might sound on the surface, the way I'm saying this, to be a bit strange, but some of us can even crave abusive situations because it scratches this ancient itch within us as well. There's something familiar about it. There's something that feels more homey. I'm hearing homeostasis, which is what this card is all about. There could be a side of us that's crying out. It's the shadow side that's crying out for expression. And for some of us, this could be something to do with like our sexual energy, or our shadow side, where we have like this suppressed anger or rage and we just want to let it out. And so screaming at this person and them screaming at us, and battling back and forth, it releases these ancient resentments and karmic ties, and it's like it gives us an outlet. And even if it is abusive, there's an element here that it's like it I'm seeing a volcano erupting, right? So there is a side of us that also is seeking a reprieve from the mask of purity, are the words that I'm getting. I'm not saying we're walking around thinking we're pure guys. I'm saying we're the type of people, we're always upgrading, we're always ascending, we're helping other people, we're helping ourselves, we're on like the light side of things. But there's something here about this is the part of the journey that we've made it to now, where now we're facing the shadow side. And for some of us, it's through another person, it's through an experience, or this is just all by yourself that something's coming up and it's searching for expression. I'm seeing a wolf. And Spirit wants you to know this is not bad. This is you. This is an aspect of you that we are wanting to integrate. But for many here, this is an outside person that is toying with you. So I'm showing both sides is my point. This person is the one we have the focus on because this is the one who's obsessed with you, you give their life meaning. They're toying with you because of that. They're obsessed with you because of that. It's all about them. That's what Spirit wants you to see. It's not about you. It's about them. That's why they're obsessed with you. So don't give it too much meaning, in other words. Don't let their obsession with you give meaning to your life in relation to them or to this, whatever this is for you. But don't bypass it either. Don't shove it down. Don't press it down. This can be equally beneficial for you as well. You can gain your wings back, but they're just your dark wings, like the winged creatures of the night, like the bat, right? So this is like dove and crow energy sort of a thing here. So let's get some cards from the Light Seers Tarot here today. Yeah, look, I just opened up to the Queen of Swords. See, you're an equal match to this person, and that's another thing that intrigues them, because it's like they can't control you. Two of Swords. You could even be like pretending like you could even be kind of like, what this person is about. You know what this energy is. You've seen something similar to it before. So for you, you're like an old pro here. So for some of you, you could be gray rocking this person. You could be pretending like you don't know that they're narcissistic or that they have a God complex. Yeah, look, Queen of Pentacles, you could just be in your peace, and you could even have a conscious awareness that your energy is helping to awaken an ancient side of this person that hasn't been touched in multiple generations, are the words that I'm channeling. Yeah, this could even be, you could be aware of a divine plan here with the Two of Wands and the Queen of Pentacles, where you're making this your mission to stay grounded throughout this entire experience, because this is helping you to integrate even further, so that when a storm comes next time, it's going to be easier to weather, because you've trained through experiences like this. It's made you a better witch, a better sorcerer, a better wizard, however you identify yourself to be. In one of my readings last week, I brought out these beautiful bloodstones. I asked you guys to guess what they were, so there's your answer. I think they also go by like hematite, but they're known as bloodstones, and these to me are like dragon eggs. There's nothing like this energy. Speaking of the Queen of Pentacles, I don't know if it's just because I have a lot of earth in my chart or what, but working with bloodstone for me has like healed my freaking soul, dude. And this is a very intense stone. The legend is that the blood of Christ, that there were stones underneath, there were green stones underneath I almost said underneath the throne, underneath the cross, and the blood fell down onto the stones and stained those stones, which became these bloodstones. That's the legend, at least. But these can also simultaneously bring in like prosperity. It's a very grounded energy, it's very earthy. So this is good to work with, these sorts of stones. I also have some red jasper. Technically, red jasper resides within these bloodstones here. I have a couple more like this that are more red. So any sort of earthy stones like this, they're kind of like pentacles vibe. If you're dealing with a very chaotic energy, an obsessional energy, a darker energy that is chaos based, or like lust based or addiction based or just obsessive in the energy field, it's best to counteract that with the exact opposite, to be extremely grounded, extremely calm, extremely at peace, so that if they fly off the handle, or if they're acting erratic and crazy, if they're starting drama, if they're trying to attack you with magic, whatever, it's like it doesn't really reach you, because you're kind of like one with the earth. It's like the molecules within you are kind of like joining with the dirt of the planet. So it's like you're becoming one with the planet. So like you're able to take the impact. Like imagine trying to take a bat to the earth. Or taking a bat to the solid ground. I mean, that's going to hurt you more than it hurts the ground. If you take like a metal bat and slam it against the ground, you're going to fuck up your hands. So I'm seeing that here. That's part of this magical training. But some of you are going through it with the Nine of Swords, or it's this other person and you're picking up, confirmation on their projected energy. But yeah, for those of you who guessed on my reading last week what that stone was, it is indeed a bloodstone. Some of my most prized possessions. So we're going to get 3 cards here. Toying with you gives their life meaning. Just make sure it's not giving too much meaning to yours. Happy Leo season, by the way. This is a very Leo energy to just be like, it's not giving much meaning to me, though. 3 of Pentacles. I'm seeing you working with the elements, with the elementals. Like, all of this could just be you alone, right? It could be an outside person as well, but I'm just seeing you using whatever experience this is. You're looking at it as a blessing to be able to advance your magical practice just as a human being. I'm seeing that. 5 of Wands. Yeah, this person, they could be throwing a lot of magic your way. If you know this person and are in communication with this person, they could be starting a lot of drama. But this can be all astrally with the 5 of Wands. It's wands, it's energy. They could be sending you a lot of, I'm hearing disturbing imagery and thoughts. They could be projecting energy your way. They could be projecting uncomfortability. I'm hearing the word disgust. I'm hearing like agitation as well. You could find yourself just getting angry for no reason. Check your energy, because that might not be your energy. Not saying that we can't get angry, right, guys? But I'm just saying, if you know your energy field and all of a sudden you're waking up ripping pissed out of nowhere, it could be coming from an outside source. 1, 2, and 3. 5 of Wands with the Queen of Cups and the Fool and the 3 of Wands. See, this is expansion for us here. And what's interesting, and this is a side note, or maybe it's not, we'll see if we get into the reading, but we do have the Queen and King of Cups here. So I feel for some of you, this person or this energy or this season of your life, whatever this devil thing is, it could be like working through a substance for some of us. It could be, some sort of sexual awakening for others. It could have something to do with working through issues from when we were children and, why am I attracted to this type of person, and issues of control, codependency. All this stuff could be coming up right now to actually prepare you, Queen of Cups, to connect with a King of Cups. They could even be going through something similar. All this stuff is very spiritual here. I'm seeing it as everybody it's like a chessboard and everybody is a different piece. So this devil thing here could actually be what's preparing you to connect with somebody on a very deep spiritual level, so you won't hurt each other. You won't do the same things you would have done in a past dynamic that was more unhealthy and toxic or codependent or whatever, because it's like you're working through all the shit that would ruin this. So with the Fool and the 3 of Wands, you could be growing right now. Could be this person as well, because I do feel like this is a different person, not this devil person. This is another person that, see, they're a meditator, this person. They could even do like sound bowls, or it's just the it's theoretical what I'm saying here. This person's just a very spiritual person, this King of Cups. Like, they want to love someone and they want to be loved. We have the 7 of Cups back here. So this person, they could be kind of going through a time of not really knowing what's next for them, right? And you're going through a time of 5 of Wands that you could be just dealing with all the stuff we've been talking about. Could also be mirroring going on here with the 7 of Cups and the 5 of Wands. Like, 7 of Cups can be having a lot of options, right? 5 of Wands can be like beating them off with a stick. So I feel you're both very desirable. For this person, it might be more with the 7 of Cups. It might be more like emotionally based. Like, this person could be a water sign, for example, where they're like, what's going to make me feel this or that? For you, it might be more like passion based or creativity based, or, whatever. It doesn't really matter. The point is that you're both going through things right now that are prepping you for some sort of new imaginative journey, are the words that I'm getting. So stay grounded here. We have the red jasper and the bloodstone, and now is the time to focus on yourself and let this devil stuff aid you in pushing you into having to do that. Does that make sense? Like, this is actually, we can use this opposition, if you want to term it that way, as a blessing to prep us for a higher dimensional path than we've been on before. Because what I'm hearing is you've never been down this path before. Not in this life. You haven't known this before yet. So this is something that you actually have to train for. I'm seeing you wiping all of these like barnacles off of you. See, that shows me spiritual with the water, the barnacles, and the King and Queen of Wands. You could have been going through a lot of like psychic attacks and stuff like that. So let's take a look. Card number 1, Temperance, guys. How funny. So this is just showing this is the journey that you're going through. You're learning how to alchemize. Basically, I can cut 44 minutes out and say, this devil stuff It's teaching you how to take even the dark stuff, the weird stuff, the taboo stuff, the secret stuff, the shadow side, whatever, the abuse, the pain, everything you've been through, whip it up in a nice little cauldron, if you want to look at it that way, and turn it into like a potion that can heal you. It's like an antivenom. It's like you're learning how to create an antivenom. You're learning how to transmute the negative so that nothing can ever really overpower you again, because even if something super negative comes towards you, you'll just use that too. You'll use the negative, you'll use the positive. That's part of this spiritual training, is learning to become an alchemist. That's really what's happening here. Card number 2, we have the devil. I feel like the reading is just showing this is what we're doing here. Because there could be a lot of confusion here as well. There could even be this third party confusion with this King of Cups that could be like, are they with that person? Or, there's the devil here could be multi-pronged. I'm actually seeing a big spider. Years ago, back at my old apartment, I had this really crazy experience where, and I haven't seen anything like it since. It was a huge spider, as tall as the ceiling, like 12 feet tall. And it was this beige, brown, light brown color. And it looked like an alien. Like it wasn't just a spider that was like blown up and it was huge. This was some sort of alien intelligence. By the way it felt, and I'm seeing that coming through here. Like this devil here, again, it's not necessarily a human person for everybody here. It's like entity land. I'm seeing like a big amusement park with all of these weird creatures and different rides that you get on. It's like you're getting on an amusement park ride at like entity land. For some of you, this is some sort of deeply spiritual and esoteric awakening process that is, you're being faced with all of your deepest fears. All of this dark stuff is coming up, but the purpose of it, and for some of you this is an actual person, so keep that in mind as well. It works the same way whether it's an actual person or whether this is all just happening on the inside of you. The purpose and intent of this is so that you can integrate all of that, so that you're not hanging with stuff over your head. And for some of you, it has to do with connecting with a divine counterpart of sorts. And I'm saying of sorts because, we all have different terminology for what these relationships are, right? Because for some of us, it's not going to be a person. It's going to be like a certain path that you're going down. We're all different ages on this channel. We're all on different parts of the journey. Like some of us have kids, some of us have families, some of us have been divorced, some of us have been through different types of abuse that have like changed the way we see things or have changed what we thought we wanted. Some of us have overcome addictions with the devil, and now we're like, we don't even want to go to the bar. Even if we get a Shirley Temple, we're like, I don't want to be around that life. It's stuff like that, where regular dating, for example, might not just be, easy for everybody, because somebody might be like, hey, let's meet up at the bar tonight. And you're just like, no, I don't drink, just as an example, because I don't drink. So I'm saying that's an example for me where, even with my friends and stuff, like, I don't care if they have a drink around me, but it's one of those things. It just makes it harder to move through the world when you have been through some of the stuff that we have. So for some of us here, it could be more things like that, where this is helping us categorize what matters to me, what do I really want, who am I now that I've gone through all this, Who is this person that I am now? It's not about being this perfect earth angel. A true alchemist is somebody that knows how to take it all and alchemize it into what's best for them. Because, see, this energy could be like, I'm just going to do what's best for me, which is narcissistic and not care about who they hurt. Or this is that as well, but just in a positive polarity. See how these are the lessons that we need to learn. It's not always about demonizing the demon. It's about seeing us in that reflection, right? It's about understanding that we are demon and angel. And if we can master both and balance both of those, we'll be unstoppable. Or we'll just be at peace because we will have accepted ourselves in a way that can't be taken away from you. No matter what happens in your life, because you know yourself, you accept yourself. It doesn't matter what anybody says to you or does to you, because when you lay your head down on the pillow at night, you know who you are. And that's worth more than anything in the world, at least to me. Some people spend their lives trying to find even a sliver of what you've already begun to truly integrate here. Card number 3, we have the Empress. This looks to me like loving myself, like how she's holding her face like that. Like she's loving herself. She's accepting herself. And the Empress is very abundant. She's also the mother archetype, even if you're a man or however you identify. The Empress is the energy of creation. Going back to that sacral chakra energy again, this is creational energy that we're dealing with here in the palms of our hands. And it doesn't take any human degree. You don't have to have a master's degree in creation. You can be living on the street in a tent right now and create a way out of that into your own apartment with your own car. This sort of energy, it's free, meaning you don't have to pay for it. Energetically you do, because you have to go through a series of events that gains you the understanding on knowing how to work with energies that are just at our fingertips, and we take it for granted because it just exists. Oxygen just exists. Gravity just exists. This energy just exists. And that's part of what we're understanding here, is that this mother can even take this demon child and love it into birthing something new. But let me just ask on this Empress, because this reading is all about your growth with the 3 of Wands and your healing with the Star. You know, you could be going through a healing journey right now, and all of this like darker stuff is coming up. With the Lovers, for some of you, this is an actual outside lover, or it's some sort of a path that you've taken to greater enlightenment, and you could be like, why is this happening? Like, I thought that I was going the right way, and now all this dark shit is happening. Guys, you're right on track. You're right on track. Please tell us about this Empress in closing. We have the 6 of Swords in the reverse with the 2 of Pentacles. See, part of this devil thing here could be helping to unearth a going back and forth that's within you. This could be helping you to identify what has stopped you from moving forward by being faced with that very thing that has been holding you back. Empress, please. We have the Two of Wands and the Ace of Pentacles. See, this is the thing you're birthing. And the Two of Wands, it's giving awareness. I said it earlier in the reading. Some of you could be fully aware that this whole devil thing is part of the plan. You could understand that not only could you possibly be helping someone else awaken, whether that's your choice or not, it's not so much about this other person, it's more about you having a conscious awareness that whatever all this shit that's happening here, it's for my benefit somehow. Maybe I don't know exactly how it is to my benefit, but I have a good feeling about it. See, this is birthing something that can't be taken away. And it's a self-love and it's an abundance energy. It's a creation energy. With the star, it's healing. This could even be self-parenting, like mothering yourself, nurturing yourself, healing yourself. It could be in stark contrast, like say this is a separate outside person that's starting drama with you or telling you you're not good enough or doing all this shit that's making you feel bad about yourself and stuff. You could be faced with those things, and it's not that for everybody, but just taken as an analogy, if it's all happening within you, the war within us is just as prevalent or just as important. You could be faced with that devil stuff and it's birthing in you this new person. We can't just logically, like we started off at the beginning with the King of Swords, and we had the Queen of Swords, so this is a mirror between you and this devil figure. See, this devil figure is trying to logically understand, how do I do what collective is doing here? How do I birth this new life for myself? Could even be putting into ChatGPT, how do I create a new life for myself? And see, that's good. That's good for this person. But when it comes to us, this is something that's happening more. It's intuitive, it's instinctual, it's ancient, it's like in your bones, it's in your DNA. You know something spiritual is happening here, and what it is you're birthing a new version of yourself. And spirit is helping you use all of this negative stuff not only to balance yourself out and to show you don't have to be this perfect person. In fact, we want you to be a little more rough around the edges because that's a human, right? Um, some of us could feel a pressure to be a certain way, and this stuff coming up is helping to humble us, if that's the right way to put it. I don't want to use the term ego death because I feel like that gets thrown around and that has these connotations. It's not really ego death as much as it is identity change or a birth of the new self. And it's a self that loves yourself. It's not a self that would be abused. It's not a self that would be in a codependent thing, whether with a person or a substance or hating yourself or any of that. This is an integration of the dark side so that you can finally move on, for some of us here, out of these karmic cycles once and for all. But I know for a fact, for everybody, it's birthing a new version of yourself. So thank you, everybody. It's been Missy Gordon, the Metamystic here. Remember, you can always listen to the Metamystic Show on Spotify and Apple Podcasts every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 9 a.m. EST, as well as on my YouTube channel at The Metamystic. I put out shorts every single day on my Instagram and my TikTok, as well as on YouTube. If you guys are interested in short daily readings, you can follow me at The Metamystic. Thank you to everybody who donates and super chats and all the ways that you guys give. I really appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. And if you're looking to book a personal, all of my info is down below. You can just shoot me an email. So I love you guys, and I'll see you on the next one.